OH, OH. Good morning. Thank you all for joining us, those of you here in person and those of you on Zoom. Welcome to the start of our 24-25 academic year. I'm Don Pope Davis, Dean of the College of Education, Human Ecology, in case you didn't know that. And I thank you for taking the time to be here with us today. I enjoy this annual tradition of gathering as a college to usher in a new academic year with great anticipation of the new and to build a collective energy to face the challenges ahead. This is a time for us to reconnect with friends who we have not seen in a while and colleagues, and formally welcome new members into the EHE community. It is a time to highlight our recent achievements and celebrate the contributions of our colleagues. Before we begin our formal program, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge EHE faculty who serve in university leaderships and have agreed to take on various roles to assist the university and our college to become better at what we do. Anika Anthony, Associate Vice Provost and Director of the Drake Institute for Teaching and Learning. Molly Blackburn, Professor in the Department of Teaching and Learning and Faculty Ombudsperson in the Office of Academic Affairs. Eric Anderman, Professor in the Department of Education Studies, serving as Interim Dean at Mansfield. Helen Malone, Vice Provost for Academic Policy and Faculty Resources. Dorinda Gallant, Director of the Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation Programs in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. James Moore, Assistant Director for the National Science Foundation Education and Human Resources Directorate. Capriya Johnson, Associate Vice Provost for Faculty Development and Recognition in the Office of Academic Affairs. And finally, Stephen Quay, Associate Dean for Excellence in Graduate and Postdoctoral Training in Graduate School. We seem to be a training ground for the rest of the university. And so we need to figure out some kind of compensation model with OAA as we go forward. I want to thank them for taking on those responsibilities. We appreciate their leadership and the service that they give and will continue to give to the university and the college. Leading EHE is an immense honor for me and a responsibility that I embrace with commitment and gratitude. I am fortunate to have talented leaders and partners with me in this endeavor while also managing the respective units. Now I would like to introduce the EHE Executive Council. These are the individuals that help me lead the college as we begin a new academic year. I ask you to stand as I called your name. Noelle Arnold, Senior Associate Dean. Natasha Slesnik, Associate Dean for Research and Administration. Tasha Snyder, Associate Dean of Faculty Affairs. Brian Warnick, Interim Chair, Department of Educational Studies. Dustin Miller, Interim Associate Chair, Department of Educational Studies. Eric Porfelli, Chair, Department of Human Sciences. Sue Sutherland, Associate Chair, Department of Human Sciences. Antoinette Miranda, Chair, Department of Teaching and Learning. Vinay Subedi, Associate Chair, Department of Teaching and Learning. Laura Justice, Executive Director of the Crane Center and the Chambon Center. Nicole Luthi, Chief of Staff and Director of Strategic Operations. Kelly Crawford, Chief Administrative Officer, Office of Finance and Business. Pablo Baños, Executive Director of Advancement, and Brandon Smith, Chief Information Officer. Please give them an applause. I would also like to recognize two co-chairs of the Staff Advisory Council, which focuses on and advocates on behalf of staff and EHE. Leading SAC this year will be Brandon Hines, please stand, from the Office of Undergraduate Education. And Samantha Peterson from the Crane Center. Thank you for stepping into this important leadership role. This is an organization that did not previously exist in EHE, and so I'm very supportive of this as we go forward within our community. Finally, I would like to extend a special thank you to one of my colleagues and friends who just recently arrived here for this event. He's not anticipating this, and so I will be very concise in the effort. My friend and colleague, Randy Smith, Vice Provost for Academic Programs in the Office of Academic Affairs, is here with us today. Randy, where are you sitting? Randy keeps coming back to these gatherings. I don't know whether he's trying to get away from his job or be with us, as the case may be, but we are grateful. Randy has been a strong supporter of our college. He understands the importance of the work that we do to advance scholarship in academic areas that drive education, health and wellness, sports, hospitality, fashion, and many other industries in our community across the nation and throughout the world. Randy, we don't take you for granted for what you do for us and the university. So today, we would like to recognize you for the contribution you have made for the success of the College of Education and Human Ecology by presenting you with a special award. Please join me on stage. And there. This is the EHE Distinguished Partner Award, is presented to Dr. Randy Smith in honor of his enduring commitment and unwavering support for the College of Education and Human Ecology. Randy and I work together as co-chairs of the University Teacher Education Council. The council provides leadership for educator preparations across the institution and serves as a decision-making vehicle for this unit. It is a venue for communication and discussion of policies, rules, and accreditation review. Most importantly, however, Randy has been a trusted friend and colleague and support of the college. Thank you, Randy, for what you do for us and the university. Randy had no idea we were going to do that to him. Our college has many points of pride. Although we have faced challenges, we continue to thrive and find ways to elevate the visibility and strength of our colleges and our programs. EHE advanced 4 spots in its overall graduate education ranking. Think about that, 4 spots over the last few years. We are now ranked at number 21 nationally by US News and World Reports. Our programs are now the best, some of the best in the country, and are held in high regard by our peers, our colleagues, and other colleges. 7 of our specialty education programs were ranked in the top 10 this year, continuing last year's trend. In human sciences, our doctoral program in kinesiology was ranked number 1 nationally for its excellence, and sports management ranked 4th in the nation and 5th in the world. Please recognize that contribution. Research across our college exemplifies the rich diversity of scholarship that characterizes EHE. Additionally, our achievement in securing external funds underscore this fact. EHE research portfolio continues to impress. Last year, we received 54 new awards totaling $32.8 million, and we currently have more than $131 million in total grant activities. Quite a distinction. Please applaud our researchers in our college. We thank the leadership that ORIC has shown in this effort, as well as under the leadership of Laura Justice, the work that they're doing in the Crane Center as well. I'd also like to recognize the center affiliated with the college and thank the center directors and Laura Justice, who leads all of these centers for the college and for their efforts to generate research, serve students, and engage the community. EHE centers account for approximately 45% of all external grant funding. The statewide Family Engagement Center, housed at SEAT, was recently awarded a 5-year, $4.6 million grant from the U.S. Department of Education to provide research, professional learning, and outreach to families and school districts, especially those serving low-income communities. The Early Head Start Child Care Partnership Program at the Crane Center received a 5-year grant totaling $55.3 million to expand services and support to preschool children and families. The funding will allow them to serve an additional 189 children and families in Ohio. Please join me in congratulating these areas of distinction and research. Would Laura and Natasha please stand? In fundraising last year, we raised over $12 million. This was the third highest year of fundraising in the history of the college. Let me note that about 25% of my job now involves fundraising. And the good news is that, and I said I'd say this for Pablo, good news is that I have a good partner and I enjoy this effort. The interesting thing in these conversations with donors is that I continue to be amazed at the donors that know the core values of our college as I have these conversations with them, and they continue to resonate in the work that we do. Moreover, we have surpassed our $2.5 million fundraising goal for Campbell Hall, raising a total of $2.84 million to date with a year to go. We hope to continue to raise money for Campbell Hall as we move towards taking over that building in about 18 to 24 months. As we enter the final year of our university-wide Time and Change fundraising campaign, I am proud to report that we have surpassed our campaign goal of $60 million by almost $21 million. To date, we have had donors and alums of our college. We've raised $80.8 million for the college, which is an all-time high for us, which is, if you're looking at percentages, about 134% of our goal. People love us for some reason, but it's because of you and the work and the quality of work that you do, and they see what we do here at EHE. These funds support innovation, academic programs, facilities, and provide much needed scholarship funding for our students. We keep in mind as we do these wonderful things that at the center of everything we do is the experiences of our students. And so paying attention to who they are as they do their research and engage in their activities, we remind ourselves of why we are here. A key strategic priority for our college is increasing our enrollment and credits. This past year, we partnered with the Office of Strategic Enrollment Management to boost our undergraduate enrollment by piloting a new recruitment initiative. The Buckeye Education and Human Ecology Pathway Pilot was a huge success. I'd like to share a few data points with us as we continue to see an increase in enrollment. For the coming academic year, we have a class now of 499 new first-year students, 126 more than last year, and an increase of 33.8%. That's incredible given where we were in the past. You would remember in earlier conversations, our enrollments were going this way. So we're doing a number of things to engage in this process. Keep in mind that you are all ambassadors of our college. So what you say matters when people hear from you, how you do it, whether in public or private, about our college. It is important to keep that in mind as we go forward. 250 transfer students were admitted to EHE, 23 more than last year. We have 105 campus change students joining our campus this fall, up 14 from a year ago. So again, we continue to see this incline. If you are familiar with national trends in higher education attendance, you will know that this is not an easy task today. Numbers in colleges of education nationally are going down, not up. People are looking at other possibilities, and because of the combination of what we have in education and human sciences, we have the ability to offer something unique. We continue to need your help in that enterprise to make that possible. The results of this first-year pilot program is indeed remarkable for us, and we hope to continue to give you good news in that regard. I would like to recognize the undergraduate education team and our marketing communication team for their work in EHE recruitment and yield campaign. Please stand if you are here with us today. Colleagues, if any of those people reach out to you to talk to families and students, please find the time to do it. It is important to have those connections. We know from experience that the connection with individuals are very important to advance the agenda here at EHE. This year, we celebrate the 100th anniversary of the A. Sophie Rogers School for Early Learning. Part of the Crane Center for Early Childhood Research and Policy, the school serves as a national model for high-quality, research-based and early childhood education. We look forward to the celebration with the staff and families in the coming month. Thank you for the work that you do. Laura, you and your team, we thank you for your continued efforts in a variety of ways. I regretted earlier to not emphasize the fundraising part of what we do. Pablo, would you please stand along with your staff to thank you for the leadership and the funding that you have raised for our college. In 2025, believes it or not, marks our 130th year as a college. I think most of us in this room were not around then. We look forward to honoring this momentous milestone. You will be hearing more about that in the coming year because of this distinction, being around that long as a college. 130 years, I was trying to think, what was I doing 130 years ago? For over a century, we have been a beacon of knowledge and intellectual curiosity, and I think we continue that tradition today with distinction. Together, we will be honoring our legacy and your contribution over the years and in the future, and we will continue to hopefully inspire generations to come. Despite our numerous individual and collective achievements last year, EHE, as you know, faced some significant financial challenges. The impact of the budget shortfall due to a number of things that we've talked about in the fall, was felt by everyone, making it a particularly difficult and challenging year. We made some major adjustments in mid-year to bring our spending back in line. We implemented financial guidelines, streamlined staffing, delayed purchases, and managed our spending. By tightening our belts, we ended the fiscal year with a positive net margin. I'm happy to share with you. I know it wasn't easy, and we appreciate the commitment that everyone made to our college's financial stability, and we hope you will continue to do that going forward. Despite the positive signs we see in enrollment and the budget forecast, we continue to have work to do to ensure our long-term financial health. Last year, short-term measures allowed us to reduce spending to address the budget deficit. Now it is imperative that we tackle the underlying structural issues within our college to ensure the long-term stability and sustainability of our programs and the college as a whole. To address the fundamental issues of our budget, we must transform our academic enterprise to ensure that all programs are attaining the enrollment, credit hours, and revenue needed to support their operations, and that we have the infrastructure needed to maintain growth. I, along with the college leadership, as well as university leaders, am committed to working in partnership with department leaders, faculty, and staff to move towards this goal. Over the next couple weeks, academic departments will be hosting retreats and meetings to discuss how to begin transforming struggling programs and to generate ideas for where we should make strategic investments to support the continued success of programs that are posed for growth. You know your programs best, and you are in the best position to make the changes needed to support their financial sustainability and growth. Over the next few months, your department chair and associate chairs will be partnering with you to assess vulnerabilities, identify opportunities, and develop a concrete plan to move forward. Many of you are likely familiar with the image and symbolism of the Sankofa, a mythical bird that reflects the idea of looking back and learning from our past to inform how we build the future. Drawing strength from our history, we will craft a future for our college that continues to embrace innovation, excellence, and the limitless possibility of tomorrow. While challenges lie ahead, our unwavering focus remains on growth and sustainability. Taking decisive action will strengthen the overall health and foundation of our college. Our steadfast commitment to innovation ensures greater adaptability as we navigate change in this new era of higher education. Remaining committed to innovation allows us to focus on the broader benefits and experiences again of our students as we seek to enhance our competitiveness in today's ever-changing landscape. The common thread we all share is a profound heritage of excellence and innovation to build upon. I am confident that together we can define the future of the college and achieve an extraordinary outcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me, and I will now step away. At this time, we're going to pivot, and I'd like to invite our department chairs to share updates with you. We will begin with Brian Warnick, Interim Chair of the Department of Education Studies. Brian.
Good morning, everybody. Taking on the role of a department chair is always intimidating. And the one comfort I had, I think, was just knowing the excellence of the faculty and the staff and my fellow co-leaders in the department, knowing how good they were knowing that they would be a support to me. So that's the one comfort I took taking this job. I'd like to recognize this department leadership first. Dustin Miller is our interim associate chair. And we're also surrounded by a team of excellent section heads, Jerry DiAugustino, Eddie Fletcher, Scott Graves, Peter Paul, and Winston Thompson. Our staff leadership is equally excellent. I'd like to recognize Ryan Provost, Jody Renshaw, Megan Zinarstik. I think that's the first time I've said that aloud. So, and Anita Donaldson. These are our staff leaders who bring a wealth of experience and expertise to our department, and I'd like to recognize them for their work. In addition, we have a number of program liaisons supporting our work. Amy Barnes in higher education, Laurice Joseph in school psychology, Roger Goddard in Ed Admin, Chris Zirkle in workforce development and education, and Brett Zyromsky in counselor education. They will be assisting us with these programs, and I thank them for stepping up. The dean mentioned the leadership that our college provides to the university, and I would say a significant portion of that comes from the Department of Educational Studies. We have 11 faculty that hold various positions in leadership, the graduate school, the provost's office, center and lab directorships, college and campus dean roles. And we are, in our department, a breeding ground for university leadership. We're also notable because of our ranked programs. That we have a number of programs ranked in the top 10 nationally: Ed Admin, Student Counseling, Learning Technologies, Educational Psychology, and Higher Education Administration. And a couple programs that are ranked in the top 25, Educational Policy and Special Education. So we're proud of our standing and the recognition we're receiving nationally for our work. We've had a number of faculty that have achieved some significant awards, and I'm going to point out to just some of them. And I apologize, of course, for anybody that I've unintentionally left out. Muhammad Khalifa was selected as co-recipient of the AERA Division A 2024 Excellence in Research Award. Karen Beard was elected president of the University Council of Educational Administration. Terry Hessler won the Ohio State Newark's 2024 Service Award. Antoinette Miranda was the inaugural recipient of the Anne Brennan Outstanding Advocacy Award from the Ohio School Counseling Association. Psychology. Sorry about that. And Antoinette, we still claim you as part of Ed Studies. So TNL, we still have that for us. And then we have Camonte Heidelberg, who was awarded the 2024 Emerging Leader Award by the Council of Directors of School Psychology. So I'd like to recognize those faculty for their work. Our faculty continue to be engaged in getting grants and earning research award. Roger Goddard and Minjung Kim were awarded a $4 million grant from IES as co-PIs to examine the impact of a leadership training program on student and educator outcomes. Brett Zyromsky was part of a team at SEAT that was awarded a $4.6 million grant to study family outreach and engagement. Jay Plasman is a co-PI on a $4 million grant from the Research Triangle Institute to study the outcomes of CTE credentials. Darcy Granella was awarded $500,000 to develop a suicide prevention program for Ohio Health. And Chris Zirkle was awarded $100,000 to train career and technical education teachers in Ohio. So thank you for those who are working in that area. We continue to have faculty that themselves rank highly among the most influential educators in education. Donna Ford and James Moore were ranked through Education Week, the top 200 public influence rankings in education. So Donna and James, thank you for your work and the recognition you bring to us. We have a number of people serving as editors of major journals in the field. So you can see there we have people editing journals such as the Review of Higher Education, American Annals of the Deaf, Theory into Practice, Adult Span Journal, and Journal of Higher Education. So with all this, I also am mindful of those faculty and staff who are working in ed studies who do the less visible work, but equally important work, and sometimes through great personal challenges and other problems they're facing in their own lives. I just want to give a special shout out and humble recognition to those of you that are working in the trenches that are doing that less visible work. So thank you to you. I was going through some department newsletters as I was preparing this, and I saw a message from Brian Fogt in April 2024. One of his last messages to our department, he said, 2024-25 will clearly be another consequential year for educational studies, EHE, and Ohio State. Nonetheless, I'm reminded why we are here and why the work of educational studies matters and how it makes a lasting difference in education and the lives of others. I share that sentiment, and I look forward to continuing the work that Brian participated in and that we will continue in this upcoming year. As part of that, we have a number of new faculty and faculty who are transitioning to new roles. I'd like to recognize Demetrius Cofield. Could you stand, Demetrius, so we can recognize you? A new faculty member in counselor education. And then 3 faculty are transitioning to new roles. Tanya Middleton as an assistant professor in counselor education. Stand up, Tanya, where are you? I know you're here. Leslie Moreau will be transitioning to the role of visiting assistant professor. I haven't seen her today. And Tuba Gazer, who will be transitioning to a visiting assistant professor in our CREM program. Is Tuba here today? Let's give one more welcome to our new faculty. Looking forward to this year of change and looking forward to working with the famous, the great, and the venerable Department of Educational Studies moving forward.
That's a tough act to follow. Good morning, everybody. I am Eric Porfelli. I'm chair of the Department of Human Sciences, and I have the great pleasure to honor a number of people and initiatives that are going on in the Department of Human Sciences that are, in my way of thinking, are quite fantastic. So I'm grateful for the opportunity. So first of all, I'd like to acknowledge our administration. Dr. Sue Sutherland is our vice chair, was acknowledged earlier. Amber Williams, who's our fiscal officer. Leslie Carpenter, who's our executive assistant to the chair. Give them a round of applause. We also have Abby Webster, our HR consultant, who's also the HR consultant for about half the college now. Cecilia Loibel, program chair for consumer sciences. Beverly Vandeveer, program chair for human development and family science. Give them a round of applause, please. And then we have Dr. Jackie Goodway, program chair for kinesiology, as well as Rich Bruno, program chair for human nutrition. And I want to give them a special shout out because they've served honorably for several years in their program chair roles, and they'll be moving on to new opportunities. So give them a special round of applause. In terms of our human sciences program, we have a number of nationally ranked programs. All 4 of our major program areas are nationally ranked, and you can see there consumer sciences at 3, HDFS at 7, human nutrition at 24, and kinesiology, as was mentioned earlier by the dean, was just ranked the #1 program in the nation. So give them a round of applause. We also have a large number of editors, associate editors, journals that we host in the department, and the impact factors of those suggest, just like in our other departments, that We have academic leadership that are leading some of the most influential journals in their disciplines in the world. So just very grateful for the impact of our editors. Give them a round of applause. And then for some more specific highlights, Dr. Sam Hodge received two, not one, but two Lifetime Achievement Awards this year. He collects them about once a year. This year was a better year for him. And they came from Shape America and the North American Federation of Adaptive Physical Education. Sue Sutherland, Brian Turner, and Wei Dong were all inducted as fellows of the National Academy of Kinesiology, which is the highest award in their field. Dr. Jackie Goodway serves as the president of the North American Society for the Psychology of Sport and Physical Activity, a major society within the field of physical activity and sport. And Jay Candompouli surpassed 20,000. I wish I only had like 10% of that. 20,000 Gugger Scholar citations this year. Give them a round of applause. We'll hear more about Jay later. Dr. Steve Gavazzi was the first ever Ohio State scholar to be inducted in the Academy of Community Engagement and Scholarship. Dr. Beverly Vanderveer received the Presidential Distinguished Service Award from the Association of Black Psychologists. Chris Zhu received Ohio State's Early Career Distinguished Scholar Award, and Angela Colleen received the highest award that a lecturer can receive for teaching in the entire university this past year. So give them a round of applause. We also got a lot of funding. So last year, our total awards was $17.3 million as a department. I'd love to be able to detail each and every one of our scholars' research projects. That would take too long, but clearly the research projects that are listed there relative to the funding are in areas like, for example, homelessness, particularly youth homelessness, providing education, professional development for preschool teachers at military bases around the world at the virtual lab school. Other activities around policy and how that relates to health and wellness, and just a whole host of other things that really revolve around the human dimension of science. So if you could please give them a round of applause. And I also want to acknowledge that this grant success isn't possible without, as Brian Wernick mentioned, without a lot of other people who don't necessarily get their name on the screen, but without them, we wouldn't get these grants. So I really want to give a special shout out to our staff in Orrick under the leadership of Natasha, and I also want to give a shout out to our human sciences staff who make all of this a reality. So give them a round of applause. We've also done a lot of curriculum development. As the dean mentioned, we have to have a focus. We have a strong focus on growing enrollment, enhancing the student experience. And as you can see there, our department has been very active in curriculum development. We've actually invested in a lot of funding in curriculum development over the past few years. And so in AY 23-24, 24 new courses, 4 new GE courses, 110 course revisions, 28 program revisions. And when you think maybe we're exhausted, no, we're on pace to do even more than that in FY 24 and 25. And so far, just in the start of this year, this is the number that's in progress. And we're anticipating this number to go up much higher over the next couple of months as we invest more in curriculum innovations. So I want to give a special thanks to our Office of Academic Programs and Innovation team in the department. I also want to give a special thanks to our Office of Undergraduate Education team members. The Office of Undergraduate Education is just an amazing group of people who are truly dedicated each and every day to the lives of each and every student that we serve. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do in the classroom. So please give them a round of applause. In terms of some teaching highlights, our new Gen Ed course called Food is Function, Movement is Medicine is offered for the first time this fall, and we'll have 1,000 students. 1,000 students generating 4,000 credit hours. That brings the college about 1.7 million in new revenue every time it's offered. And that enrollment is just for the fall. We're probably going to offer it in the spring too. And I just want to give a special shout out to Carmen Swain and Julie Kennel. They were the geniuses behind this particular course. Please give them a round of applause. I also want to give a shout out to our hospitality management program. It is now the fastest growing undergraduate program in the college at 23% growth from year on year. And in case you think that's an accident, it's definitely not. Stephanie Liu, Jake Handenpooley, Ann Turpin, these individuals, the three of them, run both the undergraduate and the graduate program for all of hospitality management. And they have systematically, over the past several years, done a number of initiatives that have amounted to this growth. And part of that strategy has been around engaging industry partners to give our students really rich experiences, which, oh, by the way, get posted on social media, which builds interest from other students, and then they come. And so I just want to give a special shout out to that program. Please give them a round of applause. I also want to recognize our couple and family therapy program, which was recently reaccredited. One of the benefits of doing an in-person event is you see people that you wouldn't normally see on Zoom. You know, all the tiles on the screen, you just don't see everybody, right? I didn't have it on my slides, but I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Dr. Drew Hanks. Dr. Drew Hanks was the chair of our EHE College Council. And as you might remember, that council was on pause for a while. So he and the team had a lot of work to do to get that up and running, revisiting bylaws, convening the group, and really setting priorities for College Council. So give Drew a round of applause as well. Our faculty are also recognized by our students. And so on the screen here, you have the list of faculty who were named by a student as being one of the most influential people in their academic career. This is totally voluntary. Students choose to do this or not. And these students came forward and acknowledged the faculty there. And I certainly would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge again Carmen Swain. She was the one that helped create that Gen Ed course. She also had 18 individual students who came forward to acknowledge her as being one of the most influential people in their academic journey. And of course, we have a number of others that had at least 5. So please give a round of applause to these educators. Our industry partners are generating a lot of resources for our department as well. We had $2.6 million in gifts coming from multiple of our industry partners. And those funds go directly back to programs and students to make their lives richer as a part of our Ohio State community. And among the dollar amount, $1.3 million was raised specifically for Campbell Hall. So I want to give a recognition to Cecilia Loibel, Kristen Paulus, Ann Turpin, Pablo and his whole team for the efforts that go into generating this amount of resource. Please give them a round of applause. And then finally, I want to say that, a lot of Convocation is about the work and the great work that people are doing. But as I think Brian was alluding to in his remarks, we have lives outside of this place that are equally remarkable. And I also want to say that our lives get changed in pivotal moments along the way. And in our department, and I'm sure in all the others, we acknowledge not just the great work that people are doing, but the great things that are happening in their lives. I also want to mention that all of us are trying to recruit great faculty and staff to join our departments. Well, in our Department of Human Sciences, we have a procreation strategy. And so I just want to acknowledge on a human level, some of our colleagues, Bishka Kumari, Rachel Kopek, Aryan Sari, Kathy Saints, and Ji Young Choi. They all became either newly or secondary or thirdly parents of new children. And so I want to acknowledge them for the great thing that happened to them. And so now transitioning to a little later in the life course, we have welcomed some new folks to our department. And they include Dr. Lauren Roberson. Would you please stand? She's a new assistant professor. She's working within our human nutrition program, but she's also an extension faculty. So she also splits her time with extension. We have a number of faculty in human sciences that do that. So there's really scholars that are focusing on basic science and translating that into practice around the state of Ohio and the nation. We also welcomed Zach Chaplow. He's a visiting assistant professor in a health and exercise science program. Hey, Zach, there you are. Zach was a graduate student and also a postdoc of Dr. Brian Vogt. And when Brian suddenly passed, we had a number, as you might imagine, rich research agendas that were going on through Brian's lab. And so Zach has graciously joined us to help continue to advance that scholarship. And he'll also be teaching for us within the health and exercise science program. And so on behalf of the Department of Human Sciences, I'm just honored to be able to recognize the department. I'm very grateful for all the work that's occurring within the department, which is hard to keep up with, frankly, at times, because it's happening all over in many places. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak to all of you. So thank you. I'll turn it over to Antoinette.
Good morning. I guess we're not procreating enough. We have one that's coming, so she's due any day. So I'm glad to be here. I want to introduce our leadership team, Dr. Benet Subaidi, who's the associate chair, my right-hand person, and I'm just really grateful for him because he's done an amazing job, and I just need you to stay this year. Do not go anywhere. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Zay Abakar, the Director of TNL Academic Services. That office really keeps us sane. They do an amazing job. He's been an amazing director that has implemented a lot of new things since he's been there that I think has been really good for our graduate students. Dr. Ivan Stefano, is he here? He leads the Director of Intercultural English Language Programs. A lot of people don't realize that that office actually provides services to all the international students around the university. Very few of them are actually in our college. So we really do a service for the rest of the university. And we're also trying to get the rest of the university to assist financially. Even though they did this year, they did help us with providing the tuition waiver for GTA. So we are very grateful for that. Dr. Landine, these are our section heads, and I'm really grateful for these folks because many of them are in their third and fourth year. They either love it or they can't get anybody in their section to be the section head. But they are very good and they are very productive and they have really made my life easy. Dr. Landine is the section head of Inclusive STEAM, as well as Dr. Tiffany Wild. They are co-section head chairs. We also have Dr. Emily Rogers, who is section head of Literacies, Literatures, and Learning. She is going into her fourth year. I am very grateful for that. And Dr. Lori Katz, who is entering her second year as section head of Critical and Transformative Education. Our undergraduate studies chair is Dr. Pat Enciso, and our graduate studies chair is Frances Troyan. They are entering their second years of engaging in this. As for our staff, we share a lot of things. We share Abby with Human Sciences. Abby is amazing. I was asking her yesterday, how long can we keep you? She said, as long as you can, because we don't have anybody else. And then Megan, we also share with Ed Studies, and Megan has been invaluable. So please, Megan, don't go anywhere. We are going to treat you right in Ed Studies and in Teaching and Learning. And then Ian Lee is the executive assistant. He was recently promoted to that position, and we are very happy to have him. We too have some U.S. News and World Report rankings, and we're very happy to say that we have actually moved up in the rankings. Curriculum and instruction is number 7, elementary teacher ed is number 8, and secondary teacher ed is number 8. I would also like to share that we are the #1 teacher ed program in the state of Ohio. And I will also say that unlike other departments, we are very much at the mercy of legislators. And so I really want to thank particularly Dr. Emily Rogers, who's been very helpful. Many of you may not be aware of Science of Reading, but I have presented in front of the legislators along with our interim provost, and also had a luncheon meeting with the Chancellor of Higher Ed to assure them that Ohio State University will be teaching Science of Reading. I say this because we are the flagship university, we have a spotlight on us. And so unlike many of the other departments, we are really at the mercy, I'm going to say at the mercy of many of the legislators. And I really want to thank the faculty have stepped up. It's not only Dr. Emily Rogers, but many of the reading faculty that have had to revise their syllabi in time for an audit that will happen in January. And that audit will go through, and I'm fully expecting Ohio State University teacher education program to be one of the first that will go through because we are the flagship. So there are some benefits to being the flagship and there are some downsides to being the flagship. But I really want to give a shout out to the faculty who have been amazing. We also have some national recognition and awards. Tim San Pedro was elected to the Board of Trustees for the National Council of Teachers of English Foundation. Sophia Young recently received a Fulbright Award, which will occur in Turkey in the spring and in the summer. Deetra Price Dennis was elected Vice President of the National Council of Teachers of English. Cynthia Tyson was chosen as one of 40 outstanding women in higher education. Dory, yes, you're over there, elected as Associate Chair for the Assembly of Research within the National Council of Teachers of English. And I was elected as President of APA Division 16 Psychology, School Psychology. Funding, we've received funding. Deneen and Tiffany received U.S. Department of Education $1.4 million. Deneen also has Orientation and Mobility Grant from the Department of Education and Workforce. Sophia Young received Beyond 100K Collaboration Grant and also received a school district grant from Columbus City Schools and also a Betha grant. So she's been busy. Stephanie Power Carter received Exploring PTSD Symptoms grant for $181,000. Shane Piazza, Julia Hag, Rebecca Dora, Alicia Bunger, and Busra. Something is hiding here. You guys can't see it, but I have to look up here for the Betha grant and the amount of $58,000. So thank you to all of them who wrote and received grants. And we continue to have some grants, particularly Emily and Dr. D'Agostino are putting in another, and we're fully expecting that they will get funded. No pressure. Other awards and recognition, Dorian was voted 2024 Best New Undergraduate Mentor Award at the Newark campus. Also the Newark Campus Scholarly Accomplishment Award. Tiffany Wild accepted into the 2024 Women's Cohort for Appalachian Leadership Summit. Caroline Cart will return as chair of the University Steering Committee. And Elaine Richardson was honored with the prestigious YWCA Women of Achievement Award. I too, like Brian and like Eric, want to thank all of the staff, faculty, and teaching and learning. They have really risen to the occasion. In many ways, this was a challenging year, but I really have appreciated their support. And we are looking forward to a transformative year in 24-25. So thank you to all.
All right, good morning, and welcome to the new academic year. I have the honor of announcing the faculty who have either been promoted or tenured in this past year. So when I call your name, please come up and you will be acknowledged and receive a gift from Dean Pope Davis. I just want to say that these promotions and tenures represent enormous accomplishments on behalf of these candidates. And so I would like you to please join me in congratulating them on their achievements. Okay, let's see. Okay, first, Matthew Brock, promoted to Professor, Department of Educational Studies. Congratulations. Francis Troyan, promoted to Professor, rank of Professor in the Department of Teaching and Learning. Congratulations. Tansil Yilmazar, promoted to rank of Professor, Department of Human Sciences. Congratulations. Okay. Arya Ansari, promoted to the rank of Associate Professor with tenure, Department of Human Sciences. Congratulations. Dorian Harrison, promoted to the rank of Associate Professor with tenure, Department of Teaching and Learning. Ashley Landers, promoted to the rank of Associate Professor with tenure, Department of Human Sciences. Congratulations. And finally, Deneen Fath, promoted to the rank of Clinical Associate Professor, Department of Teaching and Learning. Congratulations to all of the recent promotions and tenures. And I also want to say thank you to the committees who do a lot of work reviewing these candidates at the department, college, and university level. We appreciate your work. This wouldn't happen without you. I also want to give a special thanks to Rebecca Salyers, who's the new Faculty Affairs Specialist. Please stand up, Rebecca. In the Office of Faculty Affairs. She's done a great job helping out all three departments this year, and she's also overseeing our transition to Interfolio, which is intersecting with the promotion and tenure process university-wide starting next year. So thank you, Rebecca. You're doing an excellent job. Okay, I also have the honor of announcing the new endowed professor appointments in the college. So this year we have 4 new internal appointments to endowed professorships. So when I call your name, please come up to the stage to receive recognition and a gift from Dean Pope Davis. And so please join me in congratulating our colleagues on their new endowed appointments. Rich Bruno is a professor in human nutrition, is being appointed as the Carol S. Kennedy Professorship in Human Nutrition. Congratulations, Rich. Ana Paula Correa is being promoted to the Ted and Lois Seifert Distinguished Professorship in Teacher Education. Winston Thompson is being promoted to being appointed as a William H. and Lyserjet V. Casto Professorship in Interprofessional Education. Congratulations, Winston. And finally, Brian Warnick is being appointed as the Daniel T. Foundation Endowed Professor in Curriculum Studies and Adolescent Democracy. Congratulations, Brian. Okay, thank you, everyone. Congratulations to everyone, and I think I had the best job today.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Noah Arnold. I'm Senior Associate Dean and Professor in our college. And at this point in our gathering, we want to honor the lives and the legacies of our EHE colleagues who have passed away. May their cherished memories continue to inspire us to our own dedication and commitment. Barbara Z. Kiefer. Keiko Camilla Samimi. Leonard L. Baird. And Brian Vogt. Also, a part of this event is also about celebrating and recognizing the dedication and commitment of our team members who have reached significant milestones in their careers at EHE. These individuals have not only contributed their time, their talents, energy, and passion to the college. So, no matter the time frame you have been with us, whether you've been with us for 5 years or 25 years, each milestone represents a journey with challenges to overcome, goals to achieve, and relationships built. I'm going to ask, as your name is called, will you please stand at your seat when we recognize you? 5 years. Those who have been with us for 5 years, if you are in the audience, please stand at this time. 10 years. 15 years. 'And some people are being shy because I see you in the room. 20 years. 25 years. 30 years. 35 years. 'Thank you. Let's give these folks another round of applause. So next, we are excited to honor those who are closing this chapter in their lives and beginning an exciting new one. Your dedication and work have been instrumental in the success of EHE, and you truly will be missed. Retirements: Jackie Blunt, Karen Macbeth, Kimberly Miller, and David Stein. If you are with us, please stand so we can applaud you. And maybe they're getting to jump on their retirement. Next, this is always a great opportunity to gather to celebrate the exceptional contributions of our faculty and staff members. What makes these awards particularly special is that the nominations come from peers, those who know best the dedication our honorees bring to work every day. These awards represent the values we hold dear here at EHE: innovation, internationalization, excellence, justice, and diversity, and a great dedication to collaboration that helps us achieve our mission. We have a video to let you see these awardees find out about the awards in real time. And so we will begin with our video presentation of the awardees.
Thank you to the people that nominated me. Just hearing those words and all those phrases, definitely humbling, and it's always nice to be recognized for the work that you do. You know, I take pride in the work that I do every day, kind of coming to work and working hard and trying to be, you know, the best advisor for our students, but also, yeah, really just trying to be a support for our team overall. Collaboration is huge in what we do, and trying to make the student experience great, and then just, you know, representing our college well. Our leadership that we have with Sam Bellhaber, Pete Rex, and Pete Locascio, I think they really set a good example for us. just want to give a shout out to our team as well over here in OUE.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
Good, thanks.
Noelle keeping you busy?
Always.
What are some of the things you have been excited about recently in the office?
Our partnership with University of Tsukuba has been growing for several years now. I've become more and more involved in that due to a large grant that EHE was awarded along with other units in OSU. So that's the MEX grant at University of Tsukuba. EHE was the first group to travel as part of that grant, but there will be some other delegations of students going over the next couple of years.
One of the other reasons I wanted to talk with you today is to let you know that because of the work you have just talked about, you have been nominated for the Distinguished Staff Leadership Award in EHE for the coming year. And I wanted to be able to tell you that some of the things that people have said about you, your commitment, your leadership, your ability to be collaborative, and to put the activities of the unit first, your recognition and your leadership abilities of getting things to move in a direction that serves to increase the visibility of the college and the unit in a variety of ways. And most of all, your compassion and your ability to work with others regardless of the circumstance and get their work done. And so you will in fact be the recipient of this at the coming year. And so I congratulate you.
Well, thank you. It does feel nice to be appreciated and to be recognized, for the work one does every day. Thanks for the hearts. Noelle and, like I said, Ryan, Jenna, Christine, Austin, all the people, Nicole, that I work most closely with are great. And again, faculty relationships, that MEX grant with Jackie and Sue and Peter and so many others, folks in OIA. It was all about, working together toward a shared goals.
How's your summer been?
It's been pretty good. How about yours?
It's hard to believe that school starts in another 10 days. Can you give me an update on what's going on?
The K-CREP accreditation was due July 1st. We actually only had 2 concerns last year, and thanks to your support, we addressed them both with shifting Dr. Middleton to a tenure track and bringing in Dr. Cofield. And I know that you were informed of these, but I'm also very excited about that because they're both addiction specialists.
Yes.
And I know that that's something that Dr. Middleton has been working with you on, is the addiction certificate, but we also hope for that new addictions track in a couple of years.
Like many of our programs, you have been responding to the needs of our community, and that's pretty mission-centric to what we're doing here at Ohio State, and particularly in EHE.
Thanks. One of the top 5 bullets was, how are we going to continue creating continuing ed credits for the college and serving the mental health needs?
I wanted to have a conversation with you to let you know that you have been nominated for the Distinguished Teaching Award in EHE for the coming year.
It is definitely a surprise.
Not only have you been nominated, but you have been selected for the award. Students have seen you as being highly supportive of them and their work, and respecting them in particular. Your guidance in developing their critical thinking has been noted. The respect seems to be really important, and you have demonstrated that not only with American students, but also with our international students. They have been pleased with your decolonized approach to mastery learning. That seems to stand out with the students. Your respect for them, your leadership and professional development, and your pedagogical approaches.
I mean, I'm definitely in shock. As you were reading those comments, I was getting emotional in the sense that we have an amazing faculty team of people who are advising our doc students, and I think it's a program we really do try to center social justice and the anti-racist work and everything we do and live it out. And so to hear those words from students and kind of reinforcing that our faculty are doing that work. And yeah, I find myself feeling emotions, and I'm very appreciative. And we have Dr. Dollarhide, who kind of has been a wonderful mentor. We have Dr. Middleton, and we have, even with Dr. Asiko coming in and joining the team, and we've had the Granellas there all along. I mean, we have a really wonderful faculty to support our doc students, and I feel part of a team for sure.
Thank you for taking the time to visit with me.
Yeah, thanks for your interest in it. It's great.
Tell me a little bit about your engagement in Indonesia, international opportunities for the college.
I was there with Ivan Stefano and Francis Troyan. So it was the three of it. We're the co-directors of the Buckeye Language Education Resource Center, which was kind of our little thing we created. They have this big new initiative where they're expanding English education down into primary school, but they don't have teachers who, know how to teach English or necessarily have great English skills themselves. So that's essentially what they were doing. What they asked us to do, the contract was to create this micro-credential program, kind of a train-the-trainer sort of model.
So one of the reasons, Peter, I also wanted to talk to you was to let you know that you have been nominated for the EHE Distinguished Faculty Award for the upcoming year.
Oh, wow.
This award is typically given to a faculty member who has contributed beyond what is expected of them. You've been the Graduate Students Chair, promotion and tenure. Your global community engagement has been extremely important. And people have noticed your contribution, your ability to help students in this process.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's really, it's an honor to be recognized in that way. I told my wife I was meeting with you, and her response was like, "Now what did you do?" So I'm glad that that it's this. So yeah. So yeah, thank you. It's really
you can go back and say it was actually good news.
What makes this job, a great thing to do and a great place to work. In TNL, my colleagues as well. I'm chairing the PNT committee this year, which is, you kind of got to figure out all the different moving parts there, and people are it's just been very gracious and patient and wonderful to work with, both the staff and my colleagues. So just want to, basically shout out to all of my colleagues and the staff in TNL for being, great people to work with. And, for my family as well. It's a team effort here, so they're back there now. So thanks to them as well. And thank you for the recognition. I really appreciate it.
I wanted to get a sense from you of what do you think are some of the significant challenges and opportunities you have as you think about modernizing and being collaborative here in EHE?
The successes, at least from our end, would have been securing the data, making sure this sensitive data that they trade in every day is digitally secure, but also make their lives easier for all the processes that they have through some of these applications, through moving data around, and I think we've been fairly successful.
But the other reason I wanted to meet with you is to let you know that you as a group between APL and OIT, in terms of the expertise you bring to the table, have been nominated for the Outstanding Team Award in the college for the upcoming academic year. And as Dean, I'm pleased to tell you that you have in fact been selected for this award because of the collaboration that you have demonstrated and some of the cutting edge work that you have done behind the scenes that not a lot of people know about in our college.
That's amazing. It's always nice to be recognized. Yeah, thank you.
Again, thank you very much for that. I think people we really need to thank are people from the programs, the program managers, the people who are utilizing these tools and making sure our data is as accurate and up to date as possible. We wouldn't be able to create any of these reports if we didn't have all the students in there and the students in the right place. So it's definitely, we definitely depend on them doing that, and we really appreciate that.
I'd like to shout out to the rest of the APL team too and their input, behind the scenes into some of the processes and that have gone into our applications and into our dashboard. Lauren Salamone, Heather Long, and Megan Sherrill.
Really appreciate that our work, especially teamwork, got recognized by the work. Thank you very much. I always say it's teamwork, and not just one person work. So every time when I got some positive response from like Robin, Kevin, or Tony, I always feel so pleased. So that this award really mean a lot to our work. Yeah, thanks so much.
Just wanted to spend a few minutes catching up with you. How you're doing? How's the work going?
It's been a really busy summer. Working on the NIH grant, working with, partners with the Commission on Black Women and Girls, working with Wayland Elementary, and that's been kind of cool too.
What excited you about working at the elementary school?
It's kids. Why we do the work we do. It's schools and communities and discourse analysis and Black girls and Black education and education on a whole.
One of the reasons that I really wanted to talk with you today is to let you know that you have been nominated for the Redeem S. Bishop Diversity Enhancement Award. And so I'm here to congratulate you, to tell you that you are the recipient of the Redeem Bishop Diversity Award for the upcoming year. Some of the comments that people have talked about are some of the things you've said, your dedication to the research and community engagement, your focus on scholarship opportunities for graduate students, your being inspired by Michelangelo. People notice those kinds of things, and the way you try to construct and maintain opportunities and create an inclusive environment.
I'm speechless. I really don't know what to say, but thank you. And it is, I don't know, it's just an amazing thing to be honored with that award because of who she is. And I'm just grateful to women like her who paved the way. I appreciate you recognizing me, the college, my peers, faculty, staff, students. I know that I'm a product of somebody else's struggles.
I'm going to just interject something. I'm amazed. Every year people forget. And I do this at an ad lib moment, and you catch people when they're not anticipating it. So you get a more genuine, less polished. And so those kinds of things. And so for those of you, it might be you next year.
So you may have noticed that one of our award recipients did not have a video. He's been traveling overseas but he did send the following message. And so I do want to read a message from Dr. Jay Kendall-Pulley. I am deeply honored to receive the 2024 EHE Distinguished Research Award. This recognition from you and the college is very meaningful to me, and I'm truly grateful for your acknowledgement of my work. I am also sincerely thankful for the unwavering support and encouragement that I have received over the years from Dr. Eric Porfelli, Dr. Cecilia Loebel, and from my colleagues in the Human Sciences Department. Their guidance and belief in my research have been instrumental in reaching this milestone. Thank you once again for this special honor. Sincerely, Jay. So when I call your name, will you please join the dean on the stage to receive your award? What are you doing? No, thank you. The EHE Distinguished Staff Award awardee, Shannon Romey. I didn't do anything. Oh, hey. Always excitement during the convocation. The EHE Distinguished Staff Award awardee, Shannon Romey. EHE Distinguished Staff Leadership Award, Dr. Carlotta Penn. EHE Distinguished Teaching Award, Dr. Brett Zaromsky. EHE Distinguished Faculty Service Award, Dr. Peter Sayer. EHE Distinguished Research Award, Dr. Jay Kendall-Pulley. We should have held up a picture of Jay.
On our marks.
EHE Outstanding Staff Team Award, Office of Accreditation, Placement and Licensure, Robin Yates, Tony Smith, Office of Information Technology, Darren Parsons, Shinbo Chen. Will you please come up to the stage? Huddle up. The Rooting S. Bishop Diversity Enhancement Award, Dr. Stephanie Power Carter. We've done a lot of clapping, but let's give another round of applause to all our award recipients. We have one additional award to announce, and I'm going to ask Drs. Eric Porfelli and Brian Warnick to present the final award.
The EHE Faculty Impact Award, honors outstanding EHE senior faculty who have made significant and sustained contributions to their fields of study and reflected excellence in all aspects of their career, including teaching, research, leadership, and service. We'd like to announce that this year's Impact Award will be awarded to and in memory of Brian Vogt. When this idea was discussed in the Ed Studies Awards Committee, everyone was insistent that Brian be our nominee for this award. We did not experience his work as a teacher or scholar, but we greatly benefited from his leadership and from his service. Some of the words that came to mind when we talked about him were caring, patience, a listener, a collaborator, kindness, a team builder, respect, and generosity. As I begin my role as Department Chair of Educational Studies, these are some of the characteristics that I hope to embody moving forward, and I will hold up his example as someone I will try to emulate in my new role.
Brian and I jointly nominated Brian Vogt for this award on behalf of the Departments of Educational Studies and Human Sciences, two departments that he had a notable impact on. Brian started his career at Ohio State nearly 20 years ago. In fact, next year he'd have been on one of those slides for 20 years of service. His impact was profound. He was a leading scholar in his field. He was a profound and excellent educator who affected the lives of generations of students in his field. Many of them went on to faculty positions around the country and other great things in their lives. He was also just a dedicated servant as a leader within our Department of Human Sciences, Educational Studies, the college and the university as a whole. He served a wide array of leadership roles along the way. But I think what's most notable about Brian was the actual humanity that he brought each and every day to each and every interaction. His daughter, one of his daughters, said to me that one of the things she admired most about her dad was that he always endeavored to see the best in others. And he did every day, even when it was hard sometimes to see the best in others. I personally have benefited from Brian. I'll let the video we're going to show speak more about Brian's life and legacy, but I'm very grateful to the college for granting this award to Brian, and I'm very, very pleased for all of you to join in that recognition. So we're going to transition now to a video to honor Brian and have some voices from Brian's life speak on behalf of him.
Every once in a while, when you're in these leadership roles in a college such as ours, you run into individuals that seem to have a presence and impact the environment and the people around them. Brian represented such a person. He brought to the job a level of energy and engagement that allowed him to do things in new and different ways. He demonstrated the commitment to values that are important to our college, such as equity, diversity, inclusion, and most importantly, social justice. He demonstrated this commitment in his scholarship, in his words and his actions, and he took them all very seriously. We are celebrating him this year with the Faculty Impact Award because of the quality of work that he has done historically and the difference he has made in the lives of students in our community and our colleagues on our leadership team. I am pleased as Dean of the college to have known him and to see the value of his contribution come to fruition as a function of his relationship with the students in his program as well as his scholarship.
When I think about Brian's leadership impact at the university, I think about his willingness to step into an interim department chair role for a unit that in many ways is very different than his home unit of human sciences. And every single time we met to talk about the department and the work that he was doing, it was always centered around how he could best support the faculty, staff, and students in the department. It's never about his own skills in a space. It was never about what he needed to do. It was always about what he could do to improve the quality of experience for faculty, staff, and students. And when I think about leadership at Ohio State, he exemplifies what we look for in our leaders, a willingness to focus on those that they're serving, and Brian did that every single day.
I first encountered Brian a year ago when he became the interim department chair of educational studies. And I was a little apprehensive at first. You know, he comes from outside of our department, from a different department. And I didn't know how much he knew about us or how sympathetic he would be to our needs and our concerns. I came to find out that my misapprehension was completely misplaced. Brian came in determined to learn. He came in with humility in the best sense of the word. He came in with a desire to really understand who we were. And I really appreciate how he came to care about us. Not care about us because some leadership manual had told him that that's what he needed to do, but care about us because that's the sort of person that he was. Brian came in with the determination to listen to us, to understand us, and to serve us. And I will take that example of care, of listening, and of trying to understand with me as I move forward in my own leadership endeavors.
When I think about Brian's impact, I think about the profound brilliance he brought to the research that he and his team conducted, both in terms of the vital questions and the answers that his research yielded that moved the field forward. But I also think about how his research intimately touched the lives of people, the participants that put their trust in him, both in terms of the treatments they were receiving and the care that his team delivered to them in the context of his research that profoundly affected their health and well-being. Some of these participants were facing life and death consequences, and Brian's team was there to understand and care for them. I think about the great educator and mentor he was, and the generations of students that worked with him, both inside the classroom and in his labs and even in the community, and the stories that many of them tell about the very personal, insightful approaches that Brian brought to their lives as students, and how that carried forward into their success as working professionals.
I met Brian Vogt 10 years ago now. And we began working together on research projects in the community. First of those being IDEA-P, which was a project looking at outcomes in prostate cancer survivors on ADT. We did some work on that, and we were able to show significant improvements in their body composition, for example, in their well-being and quality of life. And we took that forward and started CLIP-OA, and CLIP-OA was a large R1 5-year trial, so we spent a lot of time working on that. And we had multiple sites in the community that were running this program, and we were able to engage with members of different communities throughout Columbus, and in total we recruited about 230 participants over a 5-year period. It was during that time that Brian gave me the keys to the car, so to speak, and we were able to collaborate on how to run these interventions. And I was able to get in front of a group for the first time and help them go through the programming, and that was a huge step up for me. So if there was one thing that I would take away from my time with Brian Vogt, it would probably be his saying that he said pretty much every day to me, which was, "Zach, don't reinvent the wheel." And that was a really impactful statement and directive for me as a young researcher, wrapped up in wanting to into spreading impact and being impactful and innovative. science is a process. We should build one step onto the other, and he wrapped that up in one simple phrase, and I'll always remember that and take that with me for the rest of my life.
As we think about Brian's impact, we're certainly focusing on the workplace, but I also had the unique pleasure and joy and honor to see Brian in his role as a family member as well, and the really profound impact he had on his daughters Alyssa and Brittany, the love and the admiration he had for his wife Laura, and how he wore that on his sleeve in the best possible ways in so many different aspects of his work life. We all had a sense of who they were because Brian was so quick and so happy to share their successes in life. And clearly he was an absolutely devoted father and husband. And so when I think about the word impact, I think about it in the broadest of terms. And when I think about people I've known in my life and my career who have had a profound impact, Brian is certainly one of the people I think of, and one of the people I admire for the impact he's had in so many lives, including my own. He has been a wonderful colleague and a great friend, and I forever will be appreciative to Brian for the impact he had on me personally.
And so we are very honored to award the Impact Award to Dr. Brian Vogt. I'm also very pleased and honored to have in our company today Brian's wife, Laura, his daughter, Brittany, and his daughter, Alyssa. And we are about to now welcome them up to the stage to receive the award on behalf of Brian. So please welcome them to the stage. So I have one last thing to share with all of you. I conferred with Laura before this event on this topic, and Laura asked us to specifically hand the award to Alyssa Vogt. Alyssa is a major in our human nutrition program, and she has been inspired by her father to follow in his footsteps from a career point of view. And so I am very, very specifically grateful and honored to grant this award to Alyssa on behalf of College of Education.
Thank you, Eric and Brian, for the wonderful tribute. Laura, Alyssa, and Brittany, we are honored to acknowledge Brian's achievement and the positive impact he has made during his time in our college. Please know that his memory and contribution continues to inspire and resonate with our community. Thank you for being here with us today. As we conclude today's convocation, I would like to thank the planning team for their tireless efforts. Thank you for making this event possible. To our attendees, both here and online, thank you for joining us today. Will all of those who helped plan this event please stand so we can applaud you for your efforts? Please also join us in congratulating all of the faculty and staff we recognize here today for this individual and collective achievement on behalf of the college. I'm grateful for your presence as Dean and your continued engagement in the activities and work that we do. Please know that your work continues to be recognized and makes a difference in our community and in the world. May the coming year be filled with exciting opportunities, inspiring challenges, and personal growth. We look forward to future opportunities. I hope you all come back to campus. Bringing this community together is a wonderful opportunity for us to see ourselves and connect with those. For those of you online, come on back. We want to see you in our respective place. We hope you are well, and please enjoy the rest of the day, and good luck with the upcoming academic year. Thank you for being here.